Gamma Quadrant scanning.
Signal confirmed. Orientation 170. Angle 50. Distance 1.3. Speed 1.5. Fire control radar detected. And no ACC response.
Scavengers fleet incoming. Uploading data to bridge.
Hello guys. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important aspects of fleet building. Our main focus will be ship unit slots. I'll explain how evasion, shield, resistance, and accuracy work, and which of these items are best for each ship category. After that, I'll test everything in PvP to prove which setups actually perform the best. Let's get started. Since accuracy and evade are related to each other, let's start from them. In simple terms, accuracy is how likely your ship's attack will hit the target. Higher accuracy means higher chance of hitting. While, in other hand, evade mean how good the target is at dodging attacks. Ship with high evade is harder to hit. So remember, if your final accuracy is much higher than the target's evade, your attack almost always hits. If the target's evade is higher than your accuracy, you will miss a lot. To understand it better, let's do some simple math. Every attack starts with a built-in 30% minimum hit chance, which can increase with final accuracy or decrease below 30% if the target's evasion is higher. Let's consider the situation. From this example, you can see that if your accuracy is higher than enemy's evade, you have more percent chance to hit. In this case, it's 70%. Consider 1000 accuracy as a 10% of hitting chance. In second case, as you can see, enemy's evade is far more than your accuracy. That's why your hit chance drops even below 30%. But there is a catch. Developers have made this formula to avoid stats collapse. It doesn't matter how low your accuracy is, at some point it still will be able to hit. That's why after such difference, hit chance only decreases slightly. Next comes shields. I want to say this right from the beginning. Shields are useless in the current meta. You might ask, why? Before I answer that, let me explain the purpose of shields. Shields are meant to tank DPS at 100% efficiency, which sounds pretty overpowered. Well, here's the catch. Every type of weapon has shield penetration. That means if an enemy deals 1000 damage and, for example, has 30% shield penetration, then 300 damage goes directly to the hull, 700 damage is absorbed by the shield. Once the shield goes down, all DPS is applied directly to the hull. That's why shields are bad, and I won't bother writing formula examples for this. Last, we have resistance. To explain in simple terms, resistance lowers the amount of damage your ship takes from attack of different weapons. In game we have missile, kinetic, and beam resistance. Let's see how it works with formula. For example, I will use only kinetic resistance. In this case, we rely on the hit rate formula we learned earlier. For example, the battle lasts 2 minutes. My ship is tanky and has 8000 evasion, 4000 kinetic resistance. The enemy has 10,000 accuracy, all kinetic weapons which have 60,000 DPS. From the hit chance calculation, the enemy has only a 50% chance to hit, which reduces the effective damage to 30,000 DPS. After applying kinetic resistance, 4000 kinetic resistance reduces kinetic damage by 88.9%, only 11.1% of the damage reaches the ship's hull. So, from the original damage, only a small fraction actually affects the ship after both hit chance and kinetic resistance are taken into account. Remember, the numbers used here may differ from the actual in-game values. This is only an example based on the formula to help explain how the system works. It also doesn't contain that resistance reduce damage on shield to now. We can start testing. We will use Athena as a damage dealer against Hesida. Both ship will be without armor items, since it increased ship's resistance. What we're testing now. Also, remember this is only a test to show the differences. To make the test 100% accurate, you would need an opponent with the same power and the same level of research development. There are many other factors as well, which makes it nearly impossible for the test to be perfectly balanced. So through this test, I am only showing which option is best and why, with approximate details.
Fleets moving.
From this test we learned that for damage dealers accuracy is always most important. It likes deal damage until you die, and that how it works in fully assembled fleet. Now let's see which item is the best for tank ship. In this case we're testing Hesita with shield, evade, and resistance against full damage or Athena. None of them wear armor items like in previous tests. Also, as I mentioned earlier, exact test is nearly impossible. I'm just showing you it from my perspective. It seems that resistance works much better than evade. Does that mean it's better to prioritize resistance over evade? Well, not necessarily. Let me explain why. We left ship's armor slot without any item. When you place items there, your ship gains both armor and resistance, which applies to all types of weapons. Resistance stacks quickly, but once you reach around 80 to 85%, the increase becomes much slower. This means that without proper research, you'd need over 10,000 resistance to achieve more than 90 to 95% damage reduction, which is inefficient and a waste. Instead, it's better to place resistance or armor in the ship's armor slot. This way, you can get around 2.5k to 3,000 resistance, giving you nearly 80 to 85% damage reduction. Then, in the unit slot, you should focus on evade. This will make your ship more agile. If you place resistance items in the unit slot, you'll only get an extra 3 to 4% damage reduction, while putting evade there can significantly increase your ship's chances of avoiding hits altogether. That was all. See you in the next video.